Well, hello there, and in this video we will be going through 10 bonus tips to help new players get better at GeoGuessr. If you find this video useful, feel free to drop a like, and also subscribe if you want to keep up to date with all the content. My first tip is to get familiar with country domains, and most domains are logical, such as CZ for Czechia and IT for Italy. However, you can get some unusual ones that don't necessarily follow that pattern. Here are those examples. The best way to find domains is usually on top of shops, and you can also find them on vehicles. You can also find them on registration plates, so when it's kind of not fully blurred, you can see here we've got F for France. Sometimes you can get stickers as well. You will have a sticker that could represent the region it's come from or the country it's come from. Feel free to check out all the domains on the GeoHints website, which is all linked down below. You can also have unique follow cards, and follow cards is what follows the Gurkha around for security reasons, and Nigeria is a good example that can have several different follow cards. Here is another example of a follow card that you can find in Lagos, and here is another example that you can find in Benin City, which is this black Toyota. Tunisia is another example which generally has some kind of follow car, and this one is a common example which you can identify with it having the red mark on the black plate. You can also get a follow car in Kenya, and there are a few different types of follow cars in Kenya. It is not just these three countries, however, but they are the main three that pop up. But I also recommend checking out GeoTips again on this page, which shows all the different types for all these countries, and this can be useful for identifying specific regions where these follow cars can be found, but be aware of official coverage changing in the future that could have an impact on this. There is a very easy method to separate the USA and Canada from speed limit signs. If the sign says maximum, then you have to be in Canada. If it just says speed limit, then you should be in the USA. Stop signs are also very useful, especially with the language differences. Alto is only found in Mexico, Guatemala, or Costa Rica on GeoGuessr, and this is a good way to rule out the Caribbean and South America, which will either say pare or stop. Japan is the only stop sign to be shaped as a triangle, and the third stop sign is from Thailand, and it isn't a typical A to Z script. And generally, when the text looks more scribbly, it should be in Asia. I go into more detail with stop signs in a separate video, so feel free to check that out in the description. Pedestrian crossing signs can be essential for confirming countries quickly, especially for Europe. Spain and Andorra are the only countries to have 8 zebras, which is shown on the left. Iceland is the only country to have a yellow triangle, and as well as that, most European countries have a blue square background, but this excludes Ireland with its unique yellow diamond, as well as the UK not having them at all. I go into more detail regarding European pedestrian crossing signs in a separate video, so feel free to check that out in the description to learn more. These road markers on the side of the road are called Bollards by the GeoGuessr community, and these are essential to learn as well. Here are a few examples from Europe. If you come across a completely yellow bollard, you are in Iceland. Poland is the only bollard to have this completely red and thick red reflector, whereas the other countries, if they do have a red reflector, it will be much more narrow. Also, you see this other bollard that has this equal sign, which is generally bright orange, and this equal sign is very unique to Czechia or Slovakia. Learning bollards is most essential for Europe, but it is also important on other continents, and GeoPeter and Egan have made videos on these bollards, so feel free to check those out in the description. Signposts can also be very important to learn. For example, if you come across a black and yellow signpost in Africa, you should only be in Botswana. If you come across zebra poles in South America, you should only be in Peru. Also, if you get these red, white, red markers on the poles, it is a good hint that you are in Vienna, Austria. Street signs can also come in handy from a country to region and city scale. For example, if you have veg at the end of a street sign, you should be in Denmark. If you have this yellow stroke orange sign in Malaysia, you should be in Johor. In Vienna, you get these street signs that generally have the number at the front, which represents the region that you're in. And generally with Austria, you have that generation 4 and also gas. So obviously it can't be Germany with Gen 4. That is a good indication that you are in Vienna with the number. Road chevrons are also very useful to know. For example, you can use a blue chevron to confirm Spain from Portugal. You can also use the black and gold chevron to confirm Brazil in South America. Sometimes the arrow and background colours can switch, so if you are split between Italy and Slovenia, the black arrows mean you are in Slovenia and the white arrows mean you are in Italy, but be aware that other countries can have the same ones as well. I'd also recommend checking out the European chevron map made by Isaac on Reddit. This can be useful and be used to separate similar countries, and the link for this is down below. My final recommendation is looking at Mapmaker. This will help you be aware of where there is footage, but also where there isn't footage for given countries. For example, you will mostly have coastal footage in Greenland, so there'll be no point plonking in the middle. You also get a very small amount of footage in the Amazon. As you can tell, there's not really many roads, or there are specific roads that you should go on if you're going to plonk in those states. You also get limited footage in Nigeria, so there's only a handful of roads that actually have the footage. And there are many other examples that will lack some footage in large areas. So like with Australia, you've only got one main road, and also there's no point plonking in this desert. And there are many other examples that you can find where there is no point plonking in given regions, like with Russia as well, with the very high altitudes, especially towards the east. And that is all. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you found some of the tips useful. There will be another tip video out tomorrow, and I'll see you guys next time. Yeah, of course.